breeze cold, the steam has died away. Just like the words we both forgot to say. I'm staring at the space where you would stand, still feeling for the ghost of your right hand. The silence in this kitchen is a roar. I never knew the sound of a closing door could echo through the marrow of my bones and turn a sanctuary into stones. Now the walls are closing in, draped in gray. I'm rearranging shadows of yesterday. Every clock is ticking like a heavy blow. It's so much louder, this sad after you go. I'm walking through the rooms like a trespasser, searching for a version of us that was purer, faster. But all I find are dust motes in the light and the terrifying vastness of the night. You took the color, you took the very air. Now I'm just a silhouette on an empty chair. Now the walls are closing in, draped in gray. I'm rearranging shadows of yesterday. Every clock is ticking like a heavy blow. It's so much louder, this sad after you go. They say that time is a healer, a steady hand, but I'm just sinking deeper into shifting sand. I'm not waiting for the sun to rise again. I'm just learning how to live inside the rain. Yeah, the walls are closing in, draped in gray. I'm rearranging shadows of yesterday. Every clock is ticking like a heavy blow. It's so much louder, this sad after you go. The house is full, but I've never been so alone. Just a hollow heart in a house of stone. It's so much louder, sad after you go. I watched your taillights vanish in the rain, a crimson blur against the window pane. I didn't scream, I didn't make a sound. I just let the silence pull me to the ground. The keys are on the table where they've always been, but the air feels hollow and the walls feel thin. I'm folding up the sweaters that you left behind, trying to fold the memories out of my mind. And I'm quietly breaking down tonight, fading like a candle in the morning light. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the slow erosion of the girl I used to be. The world keeps moving, make past the cafe where we used to sit, I saw a happy couple and I felt the hit. It's a visceral ache, a dull and steady thrum, waiting for the numbness that'll never come. I've mastered the art of the frozen smile, but I'm drowning in the aftermath, mile after mile. And I'm quietly breaking down tonight, fading like a candle in the morning light. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the slow erosion of the girl I used to be. The world keeps moving, making all its noise, while I'm losing gravity and losing my voice. They ask me how I'm doing and I say I'm fine. Just another lie to help me cross the line between the girl who loved you and the one who stayed, watching all the vibrant colors start to fade. Yeah, I'm quietly breaking down tonight, fading like a candle in the morning light. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the ghost of us where the heart used to be. The world keeps moving, making all its noise, but I'm just a shadow that's lost its poise. The tea is cold, the room is still. I'm losing the fight and I'm losing the will. Quietly breaking, just quietly breaking down. I pull the curtains just to hide the glow of the silver light you used to love so. It spills across the floor like liquid ice, reminding me of every sacrifice. I used to think the night was built for two, a velvet blanket shared by me and you. But now the sky is just a vacant stare, and I'm gasping for a breath of frozen air. Oh, I never knew the moonlight left scars, cold white lines beneath a million stars. It doesn't bleed, it just burns deep and slow, a permanent mark from the ghost of your glow. I'm standing in the pale, shivering alone, turning into something made of brittle stone. I trace the patterns on the unmade bed, repeating every bitter word you said. The moon is like a witness in the sky, watching every tear I refuse to dry. It's funny how the things that look so fair are the very things that lead us to despair. There's no hiding when the world is washed in white, in the unforgiving clarity of night. Oh, I never knew the moonlight left scars, cold white lines beneath a million stars. It doesn't bleed, it just burns deep and slow, a permanent mark from the ghost of your glow. I'm standing in the pale, shivering alone, turning into something made of brittle stone. I wait for the sun to burn the image clean, to wash away the places where you've been. But even in the day, the indentation stays, a map of us in a melancholy haze. Yeah, I never knew the moonlight left scars, cold white lines beneath a million doesn't bleed, it just burns deep and slow. The afterglow is all I've ever known. Standing in the pale, shivering alone in a desolate kingdom I now call my own. The moon is moving on across the park, leaving me to find my way back to the dark. The moonlight left scars, they're all I have left. The ceiling has a rhythm I've learned by heart, tracing every crack since we fell apart. The street lights flicker in a sickly shade, watching every promise that we ever made. I'm tangled in the sheets on your side of the bed, fighting all the ghosts living in my head. The shadows on the walls are starting to lean in this monochrome life, in this empty scene. And I'm wide awake and sleepless and gray, watching the blue turn to a dusty day. No vivid dreams, just a dull kind of ache, counting the pieces I didn't know could break. The world is asleep while I'm drifting alone in a house that's forgotten it was ever a home. I check my phone just to see the time, wishing your name was still a paradigm. But the screen is blank and the air is cold, like a story that ended before it was told. I try to close my eyes, but the static is loud, wrapped in the weight of a thunderless cloud. Every minute is an hour, every hour is a year, drowning in the gravity of every single tear. And I'm wide awake and sleepless and gray, watching the blue turn to a dusty day. No vivid dreams, just a dull kind of ache, counting the pieces I didn't know could break. The world is asleep while I'm drifting alone in a house that's forgotten it was ever a home. There's no color left in the early dawn, just the realization that you're really gone. The sun is coming up, but it doesn't feel bright. It's just a different version of the same long night. Yeah, I'm wide awake and sleepless and gray, watching the blue turn to a dusty day. No vivid dreams, just a dull kind of ache, counting the pieces I didn't know could break. The world is asleep while I'm drifting alone, trying to find a frequency I haven't outgrown. The mist is rising on the pavement outside, nowhere left for a broken heart to hide. Sleepless and gray, just waiting for the light to fade away. I found the box tucked underneath the stairs, beneath the dust and all my unspoken prayers. The ink is faded on the parchment white, where you wrote it forever in the middle of the night. But now the jagged edges tell the truth of the reckless way I spent my youth. I'm holding pieces of a life we planned, watching them scatter like silt through my hand. And only torn letters remain on the floor, like debris from my heart. handful of stories will never get old. I remember the weight of the pen in your grip, the way the promises would start to slip between the I love you and the goodbye beneath the paper-thin artificial sky. I've ripped the chapters where you stayed the night. Now the fragments are glowing in the dim hallway light. I'm a curator of a ghost-written past, of a love that was never designed to last. And only torn letters remain on the floor, like debris from a heart that can't take anymore. I'm trying to fit the syllables back in their place, but I can't find the logic in an empty space. The narrative is broken, the ending is cold. Just a handful of stories will never get old. They say you should incinerate the pain, to let the ashes wash away in the rain. But I'm addicted to the sharp paper cut off a door that I know is permanently shut. Yeah, only torn letters remain on the floor, like debris from a heart that can't take anymore. I'm trying to fit the syllables back in their place, but I'm staring at a void where I used to see grace. The narrative is broken, the ending is cold. In this scattered mess, I'm losing my hold. The room is quiet, the fire is dead, just a pile of words that I should have never read. Torn letters remain, written in nothing but sorrow and stain. I'm reaching out for the edge of the sheet to find the warmth that used to be so sweet. But the cotton is cold and the space is wide. There's nowhere left for this ache to hide. I try to hold a cup to steady the bone, but I'm shaking from a weight I've never known. The gravity of losing you is pulling me down, while the ghosts of our laughter echo through town. And my empty hands tremble in the dark, searching for a flame, but there's not a spark. No shattered glass, no violent storm, just the cooling of a place that used to be warm. I'm grasping at the air, trying to hold on to the silhouette of everything that's gone. I see a key sitting by the door, like they're waiting for a hand that don't live here no more. I touch the porcelain, I touch the glass, watching the lethargic minutes pass. The muscle memory is a cruel kind of thing, reaching for the phone before the first ring, but the vibration is gone, the signal is dead, just like the unspoken things we should have said. And my empty hands tremble in the dark, searching for a flame, but there's not a spark. No shattered glass, no violent storm, just the cooling of a place that used to be warm. I'm grasping at the air, trying to hold on to the silhouette of everything that's gone. against the bitter wind in the winter chill. Empty hands tremble with nothing left to hold. We're sitting at the table 2 feet apart, but there's a canyon opening inside my heart. You're looking through me like I'm made of glass, watching the ghost of our intimacy pass. I see the way you hesitate to touch my hand, like I'm a language you no longer understand. The fire's burning but the room is cold. We're weathered pages of a story already told, and I'm losing you slowly, inch by painful inch. Every indifference is a visceral pinch. No explosive ending, no dramatic scene, just the erosion of what we used to mean. It's the quietest kind of catastrophe, watching you drift further away from me. Your laughter used to be a resonance in my chest. Now it's a hollow echo, a guest who won't rest. You're packing your soul in boxes I can't see, leaving behind a silhouette of you and me. I try to mend the fraying edges of your smile, but I haven't felt you truly here for a long, long while. We're strangers sharing a suffocating space, memorizing the grief on each other's face. And I'm losing you slowly, inch by painful inch. Every indifference is a visceral pinch. No explosive ending, no dramatic scene, just the erosion of what we used to mean. It's the quietest kind of catastrophe, watching you drift further away from me. I'd almost prefer a shattering blow than the stagnant water, this ebb and this flow. At least with a crash I'd know where I stand, instead of this sinking through shifting sand. Yeah, I'm losing you slowly, inch by painful inch. Every indifference is a visceral pinch. No explosive ending, no dramatic scene, just the erosion of what we used to mean. It's the quietest kind of catastrophe, watching you drift further away from me. The light is fading, the day is nearly through, and there's so little left of the us that I knew. Losing you slowly until there's nothing left to lose. The clouds are heavy with the things we didn't say, a bruised and sullen shade of charcoal gray. I'm standing where the pavement meets the sky, watching the reflection of a long goodbye. You walked away without a single backward glance, leaving nothing but the shattered ghost of a chance. Now every drop that falls is a syllable of grief, ending the season like a fallen leaf. And the rain knows everything I'm trying the tears that I'm too proud to show, and follows every path where you used to go. The thunder is a heartbeat that's lost its way in the unending storm of a lonely day. The streets are glistening like a polished stone, a labyrinth of secrets I now walk alone. The rhythm on the rooftop is a cruel lullaby, singing of the moment that we said goodbye. I'm soaked to the bone, but I don't feel the cold, just the weight of a narrative that's finally told. Every puddle is a mirror of a broken vow. I don't know how to live in the here and now. And the rain knows everything I'm trying to hide. It washes down the scars I keep locked deep inside. It counts the tears that I'm too proud to show, and follows every path where you used to go. The thunder is a heartbeat that's lost its way in the unending storm of a lonely day. They say the water clears the dust from the air, but it can't wash the scent of you from my hair. It's a relentless reminder of the flood of the love that's still circulating in my blood. Yeah, the rain knows everything I'm trying to hide. It washes down the scars I keep locked deep inside. It counts the tears that I'm too proud to show, it follows every path where you used to go. The sky is just a vessel that's overflown, leaving me drowning in the great unknown. The clouds are parting, but the ground is still wet, a permanent impression of a deep regret. The rain knows everything, and it won't let me forget. The anchors drop, but there's no solid ground, just the muffled echo of a hollow sound. I'm watching ripples fade across the floor from the ghost of you walking through the door. You didn't scream and I didn't cry out. We let the silence settle all the doubt. Now the atmosphere is thick and hard to breathe as I watch the very best of us leave, and hearts sink quietly without a splash, turning all the vibrant colors into ash. No shattered glass or thunder in the sky, just the slow descent of a long goodbye. I'm drifting in the deep, a submerged soul, losing every piece that made me whole. The clock is ticking like a heavy weight against a narrative that arrived too late. I see your coffee cup half full and cold, a metaphor for stories left untold. I reach for you, but the water's in the way, a vast and limitless expanse of gray. We're anchored to a past we can't reclaim, two specters whisper shouting every name, and hearts sink quietly without a splash, turning all the vibrant colors into ash. No shattered glass or thunder in the sky, just the slow descent of a long goodbye. I'm drifting in the deep, there's a glimmer far above the aftermath of a suffocating love. Hearts sing quietly, and they stay down. The velvet red is turning into rust, coated in a layer of neglect and dust. The bouquet on the counter is a skeleton now, a broken testament to a broken vow. I haven't had the heart to throw the withered stems away. They're the only things of yours that I can make you stay. The petals are brittle, they crumble at the touch, like a love that tried to be everything and was just too much. And there's dust on roses, gray upon the red, just like the echo of the things we never said. The vibrant bloom has found a silent end, a fractured heart that's too exhausted to mend. Watching the beauty slowly choke in the haze of solitary nights and forgotten days. I remember when the scent filled up the hall before we built this impenetrable wall. Now the air is heavy with the residue of loss, counting up the bitter and the heavy cost. I draw a line with my finger through the grime, trying to find a frequency that's outside of time. But the thorns are still sharp, they still draw a scar, reminding me exactly how far away you are. And there's dust on roses, gray upon the red, just like the echo of the things we never said. The vibrant bloom has found a silent end, a fractured heart that's too exhausted to mend. Watching the beauty slowly choke in the haze of solitary nights and forgotten days. They say that nothing stays gold and nothing stays new, but I didn't think the decay would include you. Now I'm just a curator of a fading display, watching the color of my world wash away. Yeah, there's dust on roses, gray upon the red, the aftermath of a love that's officially dead. The vibrant bloom has found a silent end, with no perfume left for the wind to send. Watching the beauty slowly choke in the haze in this monochrome maze. I'll leave him in the vase, a monument of stone to the girl you left behind and the girl I've grown. Dust and roses is all I call my The neon light is flickering across the floor, tracing paths to where you don't live anymore. It's not a physical mark that people see, but a violet shadow of what you did to me. I'm sitting in the dark where the static is loud, wrapped in the weight of a thunderless cloud. Every memory is a fingertip on my skin, pressing down on the places where you let yourself in. And I'm wearing these late night bruises on my soul, From a love that took the parts and left the whole. They don't turn yellow and they don't fade to blue. They just stay the permanent color of you. The silence is pounding like a clenched iron fist on a heart that's forgotten it was ever kissed. I check the clock and it's always the same hour when the sweetness of us finally turns sour. The shadows on the wall are starting to bruise with all the affection I'm beginning to lose. It's a dull kind of throb, a rhythmic ache, counting the vessels that were destined to break. I'm walking through the aftermath of a quiet war. I don't even know what we were fighting for. And I'm wearing these late night bruises on my soul from a love that took the parts and left the whole. They don't turn yellow and they don't fade to blue. They just stay the permanent color of you. The silence is pounding like a clenched iron fist on a heart that's forgotten it was ever kissed. The morning will come with its artificial light, trying to hide what happened in the dead of the night. But the tenderness stays, a lingering stain, a map of the damage and a map of the pain. Yeah, I'm wearing these late night bruises on my soul, watching the darkness take absolute control. Just the shattered remnants of me and you. The silence is pounding like a clenched iron fist in a void where your presence used to exist. The sun's on the horizon, a menacing glare, leaving me vulnerable and stripped completely bare. Late night bruises, they never really heal. The sun is slipping down behind the hill. The air is heavy and the house is still. I'm standing in the hallway watching light surrender to the coming of the night. I see your silhouette against the wall, stretching out until it starts to fall. It reaches for the place where I am stood, a parting gesture made of ink and wood. And I can feel the shadows kiss goodbye beneath the cold and unforgiving sky. No shattered glass, no frantic cry, just the darkness where we used to lie. It's a silent theft, a slow erase of every line upon your home. haunted face. I try to catch the fading golden hour, but even light has lost its staying power. The corners of the room are turning gray, swallowing the words we couldn't say. I'm tracing where your shadow used to be before it dissolved and walked away from me. Now I'm just a phantom in the gloom, locked inside the suffocating room. And I can feel the shadows kiss goodbye beneath the cold and unforgiving sky. No shattered glass, no frantic cry, just the darkness where we used to lie. It's a silent theft, a slow erase of every line upon your haunted face. They say the dusk is just a bridge to dawn, but I'm still standing here once you are gone. There is no morning in this monochrome, just the chilling presence of being alone. Yeah, I can feel the shadows kiss goodbye, the final shiver of a severed tie. No shattered glass, no frantic cry, just a vacancy that I can't deny. It's a silent theft, a slow erase, leaving nothing in your vacant space. The night has won, the contours are all gone, and I have nothing left to lean upon. Shadows kiss goodbye. In the dark I fade and die. The indigo is creeping up the wall, watching every shimmering empire fall. I'm sitting in the navy of the night, long after you have vanished from my sight. I haven't moved a muscle since you left, a statue in the aftermath of theft. You took the spectrum, took the crimson glow, and left me in the only hue I know. I'm just forgotten in blue, a faded shade of everything we knew. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the slow submerging of the girl I used to be. The world is vibrant, making all its noise, while I'm just a silhouette that's lost its poise. Trace the cobalt patterns on my skin, where the bitter winter finally let itself in. I try to find a frequency that's warm, but I'm just static in a silent storm. I see a shadow in the corner of my eye, a sighing ghost beneath the heavy sky. I'm anchored to a memory made of lead, while as your echoes fill up every bed. And I'm just forgotten in blue, a faded shade of everything we knew. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, They say that morning brings a different light, but it's just a paler version of the night. There is no redemption in the dawn, just the realization that you're really gone. Yeah, I'm just forgotten and blue, watching the darkness take absolute control. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the ghost of us, where the heart used to be. The world is vibrant, making all its noise, but I'm just a shadow that's lost its poise. The light is bleaching out the midnight glow, but there's nowhere left for a broken girl to go, forgotten in blue and falling out of view. The roar of the argument is finally dead, leaving jagged remains of the things that we said. I'm standing in the rubble of a 3-year high, watching the vapor of a last goodbye. The house is too big and the air is too still, like the world stopped turning against its own will. I'm reaching for a frequency I can't quite find, since you shattered the peace in my quiet mind. And I'm crashing into silence, head on and fast, from the velocity of a love that didn't last. No screaming tires, no smoke in the air, just the suffocating weight of an empty chair. The noise has evaporated, the colors are gray. I'm colliding with the nothing of a lonely day. I check the vibration on my muted phone, a metronome for a girl all alone. The static in the kitchen is a visceral throne, waiting for a numbness that'll never come. We went from a symphony to a hollow beat, to the soundless defeat of a one-way street. I'm memorizing the void where your voice used to be, before the stillness started swallowing me. And I'm crashing into silence, head on and fast, from the velocity of a love that didn't last. No screaming tires, no smoke in the air, just the suffocating weight of an empty chair. The noise has evaporated, the colors are gray. I'm colliding with the nothing of a lonely day. They say that quietude is where we find the truth, but it's just incinerating the last of my youth. I'm not finding myself in the hush and the calm, I'm just bleeding out in the palm of your palm. Yeah, I'm crashing into silence, head on and fast, through the fragile illusion of a severed past. The noise has evaporated, the colors are gray. I'm crushing the remnants of our yesterday. The decibels are zero, but the pressure is high. Underneath the unforgiving weight of this sky, crashing into silence, and I can't hear a thing. The pictures on the wall are starting to tilt beneath the heavy residue of guilt. I'm walking through the kitchen, cold and bare, touching the contours of your favorite chair. The front door latches with a final sound. Wow, I'm still rooted to this hallowed ground, but the floorboards whisper that I don't belong in a melody that's lost its only song. And I'm drifting from home, though I'm standing still, losing the vibration, losing the will. The walls are just dry while the roof is just slate. Now that you've vanished and left me to fade, I'm a vessel unmoored in a monochrome sea, watching the threshold pull away from me. I check the thermostat to find the thaw, but there's a visceral chill in every flaw. Every scuff on the wood is a monument now to a shattered vow we didn't know how to avow. I'm a stranger in the rooms we used to share, breathing in the stagnant and suffocating air. The sanctuary is crumbling, the foundation is gone. I'm just a shadow waiting for the dawn. And I'm drifting from home, though I'm standing still, losing the vibration and losing the will. The walls are just dry while the roof is just slate. Now that you've vanished and left me to fade, I'm a vessel unmoored in a monochrome sea, watching the threshold pull away from me. They say that shelter is a state of mind, but I'm the fragment you left behind. I'm haunting the hallways of a severed past, watching the anchor shiver and blast. Yeah, I'm drifting from home, caught in the tide, with nowhere authentic left to hide. The walls are just dry while the roof is just slate. In this hollowed expanse of permanent weight, I'm a vessel unmoored in a monochrome sea, where rust has evaporated into me. The light is bleaching the stains on the floor as I finally let go of the handle on the door. Drifting from home into the unknown. I'm tracing circles in the morning condensation, a quiet map of my own desolation. The tea is lukewarm and the sugar hasn't stirred, much like the feeling of every unspoken word. I see your sweater draped across the wooden chair, a silhouette of someone who is no longer there. The sunlight is a visitor I didn't invite to illuminate the shattered remains of the night. And the soft pain lingers like a faded stain, a quiet thrumming in the rhythm of the rain. It doesn't scream and it doesn't leave a scar. It just reminds me exactly where you are. It's a visceral ache in a minor key, the afterglow of what you meant to me. I check the clock and count the seconds as they crawl, watching the shadows stretch along the hall. The vacuum you left is a heavy kind of weight, a narrative that was decided by fate. I try to find a frequency that doesn't hurt, but your memory is entwined in the dirt of the garden we planted in the spring. Now I'm just haunted by every single thing. And the soft pain lingers like a faded stain, a quiet thrumming in the rhythm of the rain. It doesn't scream and it doesn't leave a scar. It just reminds me exactly where you are. It's a visceral ache in a minor key, the afterglow of what you meant to me. They say the time will dull the jagged edge, but I'm still bouncing on this fragile ledge. It's not a crash, it's a slow decay, watching the vibrant colors wash away. Yeah, the soft pain lingers like a faded stain in the hollow resonance of your name. It doesn't scream and it doesn't leave a scar, but I can feel you no matter how far. It's a visceral ache in a minor key, the stagnant remnants of us and we. The light is dimming as the day starts to fold into a monochrome and bitter cold. Soft pain lingers, it's all I have to hold. I struck a match to find a little grace, to put some color back into this vacant space. The wick is burning with a steady amber flare, but it doesn't reach the chill that's in the air. I'm sitting in inches from the quivering flame, whispering the syllables of your name. It used to be the glow that led me home. Now I'm just a shadow dancing here alone. And even candlelight feels cold tonight, a hollow flicker in the absence of your light. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the slow erosion of the girl I used to be. The fire is vibrant, but the warmth is gone. I'm just shivering until the dawn. I watch the wax begin to weep and run, a metaphor for everything we haven't done. It's paralyzed and stagnant on the wood, doing exactly what I never could. I try to hold the radiance in my palm, to find a frequency of inner calm. But the halo is a lie, a bitter ghost of the love that used to matter to me most. And even candlelight feels cold tonight, a hollow flicker in the absence of your light. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the slow erosion of the girl I used to be. The fire is vibrant, but the warmth is gone. I'm just shivering until the dawn. They say the light can heal the darkest part, but it's only illuminating a broken heart. There is no comfort in the silver haze, just the aftermath of our better days. Yeah, even candlelight feels cold tonight, a fragile remnant of a severed tie. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just a vacancy where your presence used to be. The fire is vibrant, but the warmth is gone. I'm just a silhouette holding on. The wick is drowning in the molten grace, the last lingering spark fades away. Candlelight feels cold in a world I can't behold. I'm checking for the marks that no one sees, while I'm shivering in the bitter breeze. The velvet words you used to speak now feel like shadows on my cheek. I'm walking through the aftermath of us, turning all my longing into dust. The reflection in the glass is someone new, a silhouette that's black and blue. And I'm just bruised by love, fading into gray, watching every vibrant color wash away. No shattered glass, no frantic cry, just the quiet resonance of a long goodbye. It's a visceral in the chest, a hollow heart that cannot find its rest. They say that time will dull the stain and cleanse the frequency of the rain, but the sensitivity is permanent and deep in every promise that you didn't keep. Yeah, I'm just bruised by love, drifting in the dark, searching for a faint and lingering spark. No shattered glass, no frantic cry, just a vacancy beneath the heavy sky. It's a visceral ache in the middle of my chest, a hollow heart that failed the final test. The light is dimming on the hallway floor as I turn the handle on the vacant door, bruised by love and nothing more. The mirror is a traitor in the hall, reflecting every shimmering empire's fall. I see a stranger with a vacant stare, searching for the ghost of you that isn't there. I haven't felt the vibrant rush of blue since the moment that I lost the frequency of you. Now the spectrum has dissolved into the mist, leaving only shadows where we once existed. And gray eyes cry a monochrome tear in the hollow silence of another year. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the slow erosion of the girl I used to be. The world has lost its color, lost its glow, in the aftermath of watching you go. I walk past the cafe on the corner of the street where the pavement used to sparkle beneath our feet, but now the asphalt is a bruised and heavy shade, matching every bit of promise that we made. The atmosphere is stagnant and the air is thin, like a narrative that's crumbling from within. I'm memorizing the contours of the gloom, locked inside the stillness of an empty room. And gray eyes cry a monochrome tear in the hollow silence of another year. No shattered glass, no frantic plea, just the slow erosion of the girl I used to be. The world has lost its color, lost its glow, in the aftermath of watching you go. They say the dawn will bring a different light, but it's just a pillow version of the night. There is no redemption in the early sun, when the damage of the dark is already done. Yeah. Gray eyes cry a monochrome tear, watching the remnants As I finally let go of the handle on the door, gray eyes cry until the wells run dry. The stars are leaning heavy on the roof. The silence is the only living proof that every word we whispered in the dark has lost its vital and its lingering spark. I'm sitting on the edge of this vast bed, repeating every bitter thing you said. The moon is just a witness in the sky, watching the moment that we let it die. And these fragile nights end in a shattered haze, lost in the labyrinth of better days. No frantic scream, no shaking of the floor, just the quiet closing of an open door. I'm colliding with the nothing left to say, as the indigo slowly turns to gray. Trace the contours of your vacant space, trying to reconstruct a faded face. But the atmosphere is stagnant and it's cold, like a narrative that's finally been told. The shadows on the wall are starting to bleed into a frequency I no longer need. I'm a silhouette anchored to the gloom, in the unforgiving stillness of this room. And these fragile nights end in a shattered haze, lost in the labyrinth of better days. No frantic scream, no shaking of the floor, just the quiet closing of an open door. I'm colliding with the nothing left to say, as the indigo slowly turns to gray. Beneath the resonance of a long goodbye, no frantic scream, no shaking of the floor, just the realization that you're gone for sure. I'm colliding with the nothing left to say, in the aftermath of drifting far away. Horizon is a thin and bitter line, watching the last of us decline. Fragile nights end where I cease to pretend.